What's up, everybody? Welcome to the first edition of our mock draft 2.0 top 10. As we are scheduled here at BTL to drop our 2.0 mock draft on February 15th, the day after Valentine's Day. I'm recording this video on February 12th, right after the Super Bowl. Congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs on a 38-35, I think 38-35 victory. Great game, back and forward. Both teams played very well. Came down to a field goal at the end of the game. So really can't complain. Really good game overall. I hate blowouts and I hate games that don't really have a lot of scoring. So this was a great, exciting game overall. But as we dive right into our top 10, that we have a new top 10 as well, and an overall new top 60. And I know there's only 58 picks, which I don't agree with at all. I don't think draftable players should be punished for teams not doing what they're supposed to do. That's another story for another day. But I will say our top 60 is coming out on February 10th, and we did a really thorough job of trying to identify the top 60 players. Some guys have moved up, some guys have moved down, some guys have moved off, some guys have moved on. So with that being said, we're going to jump right in, and we're going to go from number one, and we are doing this based on the Tankathon current predictions of the current slots for the NBA draft. So at number one, the Houston Rockets select Victor Wembanyama from Metropolitan 92 via Paris, France. Again, Victor's one of those guys that I pretty much say if you're on the board and Victor's available, you draft him. It's plain and simple. Victor is a unique player with a unique skill set. He is 7'4" tall. He can shoot it from the three. He can put it on the floor. He has good post moves. He has good touch around the rim. He is a space eater on the defensive end. Long, super athletic. I really think Victor's only slight on him as far as skill set and talent is he is slight of frame. But seeing him up close this past October in Henderson, Nevada, when they played G League Ignite, you can see Victor's a little cut. So he's not going to be a scrawny, skinny, fat kind of guy. Victor's going to get bigger. He's going to get stronger. He's not awkward. He's not uncomfortable in his body. He's super fluid, moves well without the ball, shoots it like a guard from the perimeter, can really make up space on the defensive end as a shot blocker while he is light right now, and people can get to his chest and knock him off balance. That's not going to last for long. So it's one of those things you better get him while you can, because the moment that he turns the corner and gets a little more physically strong, there's not going to be a lot you can do with him on the defensive end, and obviously there's not a lot that you can do for him on the offensive end. There are things that I think people will harp on, and one is his shot selection. I think playing with Metropolitan 92, the word that I got from people that are close to his camp is that Victor went there so he can work on being a primary ball handler, primary scoring option, which was not something that typically in the EuroLeague they allowed 19-year-olds to do outside of Luka Doncic a few years ago. So typically younger players don't get to be featured as offensive focal points. And Victor chose to go to Metropolitan 92 for the sole purpose to work on him being a primary option, primary scoring option, work on creating opportunities for him with the ball in his hands, which is great. But at the same time, I think there's going to be a learning curve from that as well when he gets into the NBA, because he's going to have to working off the ball as well, which is not a bad thing, because I think he's going to be a dynamic lob threat and pick and roll option as a vertical spacer. The cool thing is like he can play in pick and roll, pick and pop. I think both those options are going to bode him well, because he can shoot it and he can go get it if you throw it up to him. And so at number one, the Houston Rockets select Victor Wembanyama. At number two, the San Antonio Spurs select Scoot Henderson out of G League Ignite. Scoot Henderson, point guard, and Scoot has improved so much as a playmaker, as a shot maker. He's gotten physically stronger. And I feel like the 2 years in G League Ignite's system has helped and improved him become a more complete and well-rounded point guard. Scoot has the ability to make every pass. You guys probably saw this in my breakdown on him in our last mock draft, but Scoot has the ability to make every pass, pocket pass, over the head hook passes, jump passes. And that's the first part, because Scoot didn't have that in his game when he first went to G League Ignite. Scoot was a 90 miles per hour up and down the court, get into the lane, dunk it, get fouled, one of the two. And while he still can do that, Scoot's improvement as a playmaker makes him a number one point guard in this draft class. I think Scoot's ability to just create for his teammates, but at the same time break down the defense, get into the lane, finish around the rim, finish strong around the rim. And then let's not forget his improved 3-point shooting and and jump shooting overall. Scoot has a great pull-up jumper from about 15 to 18 feet, and he's much improved from the 3-point line. I don't have his stats in front of me right now, but he's a much improved 3-point shooter. And for me, the cool part about all of this is that the improvement shown by Scoot only shows that he's going to get better from 18 to 19, and we can just kind of project that he's going to continue to get better. The one thing I know about Scoot is he's a hard worker. The one thing I know about him personally is that he's a hard worker, that he's diligent, and he's serious about his craft as a basketball player, and he takes this very seriously. And so for me, knowing how serious he takes this and already seeing the improvement, the sky's the limit for how well Scoot's going to be as we continue to move forward. At number 3, the Charlotte Hornets select Brandon Miller from the University of Alabama. And again, Brandon's been a hot topic in the draft rooms on Twitter and Instagram, because Brandon is a player that people are not sure about. I don't know why they're not sure about him, but I'm going to tell you that I'm sold on Brandon Miller at the number 3 spot, primarily because Brandon can do a little bit of everything. He is being groomed to be a primary scoring option from the wing position in the NBA. He's shooting it well from 3. He's an offensive initiator at Alabama currently. All these things translate for him being a really good scoring option, number 1 scoring option for an NBA team. Brandon's ability to shoot it from the 3, off the dribble, off the catch, his ability to get into the mid-range, which he doesn't do a lot at Alabama, but as we know, or some of you may know, Alabama is all analytics. They are threes and layups. They are threes and layups like most NBA teams. But we also know, I've said this before too, that most NBA teams that have a really good scoring option allow their number 1 options to get into the mid-range. Threes and layups are typically reserved for role players. I don't think Brandon's going to be a role player very long in the NBA, maybe when he first gets to the NBA, but I think eventually he jumps into a primary scoring option for his team. And so Brandon's ability to create for himself off the dribble, get into the mid range, get into the mid post, create for himself using jab steps and pump fakes. Also, his elite athleticism, getting to the rim. Although he doesn't finish well around the rim now, he's much improved around the rim and in the lane. So all these things go well, on top of the fact that Brandon has the potential to be a really good on-ball defender and help defender with his length and athleticism as well. At number 4, this is the first surprise, a big jump. For the Detroit Pistons select Jarace Walker from the University of Houston. The reason why I think we have Jarace Walker here at number 4 is first his physical makeup. He is a big, strong kid, 6'8", 240 pounds, chiseled frame. The cool thing about Jarace is that he's shooting about 40% from 3 on about 60 attempts right now, give or take. He's got great touch in the lane. He's got a nice floater. He's a really good passer. And some of these things I know simply by watching him play in high school, right? Jarace was a really good playmaking point forward in high school. He wanted to get the ball off the glass, off the defensive glass, push it in transition, and try to create for his teammates, finding them in filling the lanes. He's not doing that a lot right now at the University of Houston, but I know he has that in his bag, and so I know that that's going to be something that as the court opens up and spacing is better in the NBA, he's going to have more opportunities to make those kind of plays. On top of the fact that he's really good knocking down catch and shoot threes, and he has really good touch around the rim. I think he's a guy that once it kind of clicks that he's bigger and stronger than everybody, it's one of those things that we're going to see, like, who's going to stop him from getting to the lane whenever he wants to. As we see, there's several guys in the NBA right now that currently have a similar game. LeBron, I obviously, Paolo more recently, Zion, somebody who's kind of been in that in between game, on top of guards like Ja Morant and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. These are guys that just get into the lane and do whatever they want to in the lane. I think Jarace is going to be another guy that can create for himself, get into the lane, and physically overpower smaller defenders. I think if you put a big on him, he's too quick. If you put a small on him, they're too small. And I think he's going to be a mismatched nightmare for so many people. And then on top of that, he has very good defensive versatility for sure. At number 5, we've got the Orlando Magic taking Ausar Thompson. Ausar. I know that's going to be a touchy subject, as the Thompson twins have dropped a little bit in our mock, but only one spot right now. But Ausar Thompson, for me, his much improved shooting from the 3-point line. I've seen him do some stuff that is not normal. I've seen him make some one or two dribble pull ups, making shots off the backboard, and a pit bull on the defensive end. He can guard pretty much ones, twos, threes, and fours depending on the day. Ausar is a 1% of the 1%ers, right? So he's one of those guys that is an elite athlete offensively, can finish above the rim, finish in the lane around the rim. He's physically strong. And I know he's a hard worker as well. Like being close to some of the guys over at Overtime Elite, I know for a fact that Ausar and his brother are both gym rats. They're always in the gym. They're always trying to work on and improve their game. And that's something I know for a fact that as he continues to get better and make improvements with his jumper, I think those things just kind of his game continues to elevate. But I think the defensive prowess, his athleticism, and the improved jump shot on top of the fact that he's a willing passer and also a really good rebounder for his position makes him a easy fit here at number 5 for the Orlando Magic. What's up, guys? Just wanted to hop in real quick and let you know that this is brought to you by Between the Line Sports. Visit the website at btlhoops.org. Follow us on social media at btlhoops on both Instagram and Twitter. And again, this portion of the Attacking the Paint podcast is brought to you by the good folks at Between the Line Sports. At number 6, I have the Indiana Pacers taking Amen Thompson, also from Overtime Elite. And Amen and Ausar both have very similar games. Amen is a 1% of the 1%ers athletically. He's dominant as an on-ball defender and help side defender. He rebounds it well. He can push it in transition. He's a willing passer. He finishes well around the rim. Although I think one of the things that he has to work on along with his brother is the ability just to kind of go to the rim and not try to negate or avoid contact, but go through contact. Another thing that I think Amen is really good at is just simply playmaking for his teammates. I think he gets downhill in a hurry. I think so for him, being a guy that can play on the wing and attack a closeout or attack a swing, I think he's a guy that's going to be a really good straight line driver. And again, he needs to improve his 3-point shooting, but I think a lot of these guys need to improve their 3-point shooting overall in this draft class. And so it's not something that I think is going to be a hindrance for him because none of these guys are perfect basketball players. But I think the one knock is his lack of shooting from the perimeter. I think that once he becomes more confident, I think he jumps right into an elite wing role for the Indiana Pacers. At number 7, we have the New Orleans Pelicans by way of the Los Angeles Lakers currently taking Anthony Black from the University of Arkansas. I recently saw Anthony Black in person last weekend in Columbia playing against the University of South Carolina. The one thing I know about Anthony is that he can make every pass. Watching him in person, you're just watching as a basketball guy, you know the passes that are coming, and he's always on time. He's always on target. And I believe if Arkansas had better shooters on that team, Anthony Black would easily average upwards of 7 or 8 assists a game, if not 10, to be honest, truthfully, because he makes every pass. And if some guys could just hit shots when he hits them in the shooting pocket, I think he would average upwards of 7 or 8 assists a game for sure, at least at minimum. The other thing about Anthony is that he is a really good defender. He has tons of energy. He's going to chase over screens. He's going to contest. He's going to contest jumpers. He's going to turn you as a ball handler. He's going to play the passing lanes very well. He needs to improve his jump shot as well, but he's another guy that has a knack for getting into the lane and has touch around the rim. But his defense and his ability to play make for his teammates are skill sets that make him a really hot commodity at the number 7 spot for the New Orleans Pelicans. I think Anthony's also a really good athlete. I wouldn't say he's a 1% of the 1% like the Thompson twins, but he's a really good athlete. And I feel like his athleticism on top of his ability to play make and play defense make him a hot commodity at the number 7 pick. At number 8, we had the Orlando Magic taking Keyonte George out of Baylor. And Keyonte is a combo guard that can create for himself off the dribble. He is a big shot maker. Keyonte is a big shot maker. He makes big shots. He makes timely shots. The one thing I like about Keyonte the most is not only the fact that he's physically strong and has the ability, he's crafty with the ball in his hands, he has really good footwork. If you watch him closely, he may not be the most athletic guy or has the best burst, but his combination of skill, craftiness, and footwork allows him to create tons of separation to get his shot off on bigger, stronger, even more athletic guys that can get up into him. Keyonte finds a way to create separation. I think earlier in the season he had a few struggles, but I think he's figured out the style of play in the Big 12, and he is thriving right now in the Big 12 as he leads his team in scoring at Baylor. But I think his offensive bag is loaded with a lot. On top of that, he is a capable playmaker. I wouldn't say that he's an elite playmaker or a good playmaker, but he's a capable playmaker. But I definitely think he's a score first kind of guard. I think he will develop the ability to make the right reads and make the right plays to create opportunities for his teammates as well. And so at the number 8 spot, we have the Orlando Magic by way of Chicago Bulls taking Keyonte George at the number 8 spot. At number 9, we have the Toronto Raptors taking Cam Whitmore from Villanova. And for me, this is a perfect fit for Cam. I think the Raptors developmental system, no matter where they get guys typically just get better when they're in this system with the Toronto Raptors. Now for Cam is about a 6'6", 6'7" small forward wing. He can create well off the dribble. He has a nice combination of step back, side steps, and then he's physically strong and athletic. So as he attack the paint, he can finish through contact and finish over people in the lane. On top of that, he has the ability to create shot opportunities for himself from the perimeter as well. He doesn't have a lot of mid range right now, but I think that'll come with time and development. And on top of that, I think he is a capable playmaker. I just watched him play a game this past weekend as well. And while he struggled in this game that he played, I think Cam still has a lot of tools to work with. I think but his physical attributes are you can't really miss those with him being 6'7", 230 pounds, physically strong and athletic, and with the ability to create for himself off the dribble. Um, I think Cam he's gonna have to improve as a defender, and that's gonna be more so deciding to be a better defender. As we know, a lot of times defense is simply determination and scheme. Once he decides that, excuse me, once he decides that he wants to be a better defender and he can work in a scheme or a team setting, I think he's going to be a really good on ball and team defender for the Toronto Raptors. At the number 10 spot, we have the Washington Wizards taking Gigi Jackson from the University of South Carolina. Gigi, for me, is one of these is a young guy. He won't turn 19 until December of 2023, so it's December of this year. So he just turned 18 this 2 months ago. And the cool thing about Gigi, so like when you think about the fact that he just turned 18 2 months ago in December, is that he was doing a lot of his first three months in college basketball. He was 17 years old, right? 17 years old, and he was producing at a high level in one of the toughest conferences in the country in the SEC. While his team isn't producing at a high clip, Gigi is the primary scoring option for his team, and they don't run a lot of plays for him. Gigi kind of gets his stuff off of finding spots. He's a really good cutter. So he finds open spot. He flashes to the paint. He's athletic. He can shoot an open three. He can shoot it off the dribble. He can shoot it off the catch. But a lot of these guys don't shoot it well off the dribble, but he can shoot it off the dribble. Not so much as a creative kind of wiggle thing, but get him into pick and roll action, and he can dribble right into a nice pull up three. When I saw him play a couple weeks ago, he hit two of those. Just one dribble coming off a pick, walk right into a 3-point shot. Gigi's athletic. He's another mismatch nightmare because he can put the ball on the floor enough. He can't create for himself off the dribble. But if so, you put a big on him, he's probably too athletic and too quick. You put a small on him, he can take it down to the lane. So mismatch nightmare. Defensively, he's really good also. And he does have the ability to rebound, push in transition, and find teammates also. So it's one of those things that I think that as Gigi continues to improve and age and mature, I think his game's going to age and mature with him as well, and he'll continue to improve his stock. And maybe he jumps up into our mock again. But right now, Gigi Jackson at number 10. So to recap, we have Victor Wembanyama being taken by the Houston Rockets at number 1. We have Scoot Henderson being taken by the San Antonio Spurs at number 2. We have Brandon Miller being taken by the Charlotte Hornets at number 3. We have Jarace Walker being taken by the Detroit Pistons at number 4. We have Ausar Thompson being taken by the Orlando Magic at number 5. We have Amin Thompson being taken by the Indiana Pacers at number 6. We have Anthony Black being taken by the New Orleans Pelicans at number 7. We have Keyonte George being taken by the Orlando Magic at number 8. We have Cam Whitmore being taken by the Toronto Raptors at number 9. And we have Gigi Jackson being taken by the Washington Wizards at number 10. So this is our first ever top 10 mock draft preview. But I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this video. We are excited about our new mock. Stay tuned for more content from Between the Lines Sports. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at BTL Hoops. Check out our website at www.btlhoops.org. And stay tuned for more content as we have some more stuff coming for you soon. Peace.